Okay, pay estimate for the Sac Beach edition.
Okay, I asked Dave to come talk tonight about a couple things. We'll consider that pay estimate, but we wanted to talk about the status of the streets out there on Boulders Drive, and talk a little bit about what we can anticipate as far as replacing those sections of the street.
I guess there's been some concern. A couple weeks ago, there was a pay estimate, that was apparently got denied. You guys are worried about the street getting fixed. I've got a 2-year maintenance bond on the thing, so I mean, it's, the city's can't get stuck, with the street, obviously, with that maintenance bond. I know you guys would like to have it fixed now rather than later. My concern is I fix it now, happens again, I fix it again. You see what I'm getting at? I'd like to wait at least until, next season so it can go through another winter to watch what it does. So if I do go back and fix it, we can maybe make a plan to make sure that it doesn't happen again. I'm afraid if I go in. Mostly because, like we said before, when a lot of us met out there, all my compaction tests passed, the material test passed on the concrete. It was inspected the whole time we did the subgrade and poured it. So, we're pretty sure, we have the paper trail that says that it was built right, so I'm a little nervous to go in right away and fix it again, and then, maybe next spring, come back and it's cracked again, I'm fixing it twice, so instead of 12 panels, I'm doing 24, and it gets quite expensive. So, I guess kind of what I'm going for is, and I know that talking to the engineer and other contractors they've done in the past with situations like this is, you've got a 2-year maintenance bond on it, wait till you get a little closer to the end of the maintenance bond, then fix the thing, and, and then be done with it. And also, in that amount of time, get an idea of what's actually caused the crack, instead of just fixing it and it happening again. So I guess what I'm going for is obviously take care of the pay estimate that's up that was for sewer line and manholes, and finish, close the project out. I get to closer to the end of this 2-year thing. As long as it's not, if it becomes a safety issue or a real eyesore, we need to revisit it. But I was just out there before this meeting, and unless you're looking for it, you can't even really see, especially if there's 12 panels that are cracked, 10 of them, you've really got to search to find the cracks, So it's not a safety problem that I see. It's not an eyesore. So I guess that's what I'm going for is leaving that against the maintenance bond and fix it down the road a little bit. So especially so we can find out what was, what caused the problem.
Do we have enough in the maintenance bond to do that?
Excuse me?
Do we have enough in the maintenance bond to do that?
Well, see, that maintenance bond, what ends up happening is if I don't fix it, you hire another contractor to go fix it, and you send me a bill. If I don't pay you, then you go to my maintenance company, and they've got control of all my assets in a sense. I signed over with my maintenance company, everything but the kitchen sink, was signed over to them. So there's a very easy and clear legal way to get your money, you know what I'm saying? So.
What kind of sink you got?
Brand new, actually, it's Poland.
What will you know a year from now about the cause of the problem?
Well, I'd like to see it do another winter, because when the frost, early this spring, when we first were thinking about going back in there to finish up some of the work, and I don't exactly recall when it was, I think it would have been late March, when everyone started talking about the thing, and there's a huge crack in that street, you stick your finger in it. And once the frost went out, the crack came back shut. Now, if it's a settling issue, everyone says, and it makes sense, that the crack stays open if the ground settles. If it's a frost heave issue or something else, that's kind of what I've been told. A lot of times you'll see the frost heave is it'll open up and then the frost goes out, it'll close back shut. And that's the main thing. I want to make sure that it's not a frost heave issue, because if it is, we'll be looking right back at the same thing in the spring. And something will have to be figured out to fix that.
I heard you say a couple of things. Wait another winter, fix it now. And then I heard you a couple of statements later say something about wait till toward the end of this year maintenance bond. So can you clarify that a little bit
Not really. There's 2-year maintenance bonds, so I mean,
From what, when
Like
does
if you-
2 years start?
yeah, if we closed it, well, 2 years starts when a shop project is closed, yeah,
Okay.
that's when it
So
starts.
do you intend to fix it next spring or in 2 years?
If I was confident that the problem, you know, that we found out what the problem was, I'd be inclined to, I guess, you know,
Inclined to what?
to fix it then, yeah.
Fix it next spring or fix it in 2 years?
If I was confident that we found out what the problem was and that it could be fixed.
You would fix it next spring if you were
Yes,
confident?
yeah.
My patio heaves about 8 to 10 inches every winter. I guarantee you, if you have to. And I know nothing about shoreline work. I'm just telling you, I look at that. My patio
Yeah.
heaves every year, and I know.
And it comes right back, see?
It goes right
And that's, so you can understand, I mean, if you go by our unit price right now, I mean, you're looking at about an $11,000 fix. And that's not counting the taken out, that's just replacing it. So 11,000 to me is a lot of money, 22 is not acceptable. You know, there's not, everyone knows that contracting these days, there's not that much room to wiggle on, especially, you know, these small projects like this, you know, so it was obviously bid extremely competitively, so I guess that's what I'm going for. You know, the main thing is, you know, I've got to feel really good at what the problem was, and then, you know, how to fix it so it doesn't happen. You know, I don't want to go on next week, fix the thing, and then in April we're having the same conversation.
And I don't disagree. I just, you know, obviously I have dual interest here, so I won't be voting on this issue. I just specifically want clarification on to when the time frame it is that it's going to be fixed. Specifically because if you're going to have to put drainage in, and it is a heating issue, which I suspect that it is, it cannot be torn up for a large amount of time in May or June of next year.
Oh, I understand where you're getting at, and that's understandable, and I guess, you know, why don't we say then after Labor Day would be a good time to do that, I'm assuming?
It'd be a much better time.
Okay, that's fine with me. As far as the specific time...
As long as, like you said, it doesn't create a public safety issue.
Right.
Of course that
And the way it looks right now, I really don't see that being a problem. You know, unless in the spring it opens up worse than it did this year. And even this spring, when it was at its worst, you know, I don't think you consider it a safety issue. But...
Are you going to do any like core samples or just go out and pick it and see if one side...
What I'd like to do is go and pick about 3 spots, 4-inch core drill it, put some Shelby tubes down, take it in, and have them test the thing to see what the deal is. And of course, that's my cost, you know, but I don't think it's that expensive of a deal.
But if it's a frosty, don't you have to dig down below the frost line and repack it all?
Unless it's a soil type issue, you know, I don't know. There's soil consultants that would be the guys to ask for that. So
You can ask the geologist.
It's all overburdened with me.
Okay. So in your opinion, it's not we should pay.
Yeah, the pay estimate is for sewer work. You know, we have to pay, our engineer does recommend we pay.
I'll make a motion to pay.
Second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Maybe.
Yes.
Duncan?
Yes.
Good. Yes. Over North?
And
Yes. Yes.